Zara pressed her scaled hands against the viewing port of her ship and stared at the impossible sight before her. The human male stood on the surface of Kepler 442b without any protective suit, while the planet's toxic atmosphere swirled around him like a gentle breeze. Her four eyes blinked in sequence as she tried to process what she was seeing. The readings on her scanner confirmed it. The atmosphere contained sulfur compounds that would dissolve most known life forms within minutes. Yet this human walked forward with confident steps. Commander Zara, her second officer Keth, called from behind her. "The human vessel is requesting permission to board." Zara turned her serpentine head toward the communications panel. The human ship hung in space beside theirs, a crude metal construct that should have been torn apart by the gravitational forces of this system. Yet somehow it held together. "Tell them they may send one representative." Zara replied, "But maintain defensive shields." She had been hunting this particular human vessel for 3 months, ever since it had destroyed an entire Vorthan battle fleet near the Centauri system. The Galactic Council had labeled the humans as a Class 7 threat, the highest classification possible for a species that had only recently discovered faster than light travel. 20 minutes later, the airlock hissed open, and a human female stepped aboard. Zara studied the creature with interest. She had long brown hair tied back in a simple knot and wore a basic flight suit that looked like it had seen many battles. Her name tag read Lisa Martinez, Captain. "I am Captain Martinez of the Earth vessel Defiance." The human said, "I believe you wanted to speak with us." Zara slithered forward on her lower body, keeping her upper torso upright in a show of respect. "I am Commander Zara of the Hegemony Fleet. You humans have caused quite a disturbance in our sector." Captain Martinez smiled, and Zara noticed how the expression seemed genuine despite the circumstances. "We tend to have that effect wherever we go." "Your companion on the planet's surface," Zara said. "How does he survive in that toxic environment?" "Oh, that's just Danny," Martinez replied casually. "He's always been good at adapting to new places." Zara's tail twitched with confusion. Adapting the atmospheric composition would kill any known species in seconds. Martinez walked to the viewing port and looked down at the planet where her crew member continued his survey work. "Humans are pretty resilient, Commander. We've survived ice ages, volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, and worse on our homeworld." "Impossible," Zara hissed. "No species could withstand such catastrophic events." "Well, we're still here," Martinez said with a shrug, "and we're not planning to go anywhere." Through her ship's sensors, Zara watched as more humans emerged from their vessel. They moved across the hostile planet's surface as if it were a pleasant garden. Some collected samples while others set up what appeared to be permanent structures. "What are you doing down there?" Zara demanded. "Setting up a research station." Martinez replied, "This planet has some interesting mineral deposits that could be useful." "This world belongs to the hegemony," Zara said, her voice rising. "You cannot simply claim it." Martinez turned to face her, and Zara saw something in the human's eyes that made her blood run cold. It was not fear or aggression, but something far more unsettling. It was confidence. "Commander, with all due respect, your people have never set foot on this world," Martinez said. "Your ships can't even enter the atmosphere without being destroyed by the radiation storms, and your environmental suits would fail in minutes down there." Zara knew this was true. The hegemony had classified Kepler 442b as uninhabitable and had only maintained a distant monitoring station. They had never imagined any species could actually survive on its surface. "But you humans can," Zara said quietly. "We can do a lot of things other species find impossible." Martinez replied, "That's what makes us human." Over the next several hours, Zara watched in growing amazement as the humans established their base. The structures they built were simple but effective, designed to work with the planet's hostile environment rather than against it. When acid rain began to fall, the humans simply adjusted their work schedules and continued. "How?" Zara finally asked. "How do you survive conditions that would destroy entire civilizations?" Martinez poured herself a cup of coffee from a thermal container and offered one to Zara. When the alien commander politely declined, Martinez continued, "I think it's because we come from a world that's been trying to kill us since day one." Explain. Earth isn't exactly a paradise, Commander. We've got predators, diseases, natural disasters, extreme weather, and limited resources. Every generation of humans has had to fight just to survive, and those who couldn't adapt didn't make it. Zara felt a chill run down her spine. You mean your species evolved under constant threat? Pretty much, Martinez said. Most species develop on worlds with stable environments where cooperation and peaceful development are rewarded. But Earth rewarded adaptability, toughness, and the ability to overcome impossible odds. Through the viewing port, Zara could see human technicians working outside in the acid rain. Their equipment continued to function despite conditions that would have shut down hegemony technology immediately. Your tools, Zara observed. They seem primitive compared to ours, yet they continue to operate. We build things to last, Martinez said. When your homeworld is constantly trying to destroy everything you make, you learn to make it tough. Redundant systems, simple mechanics that won't fail when you need them most. A communication came through from the planet's surface. It was the human called, Danny, reporting that his team had located a massive deposit of rare metals deep beneath the surface. We're going to need heavy mining equipment. Danny's voice crackled through the static. The deposit is about 2 kilometers down. Martinez activated her communicator. Copy that, Danny. We'll have the drilling rigs down to you within 6 hours. Zara stared at her. You're going to mine 2 kilometers beneath the surface of a world with unstable geology and constant seismic activity. Sure, Martinez replied. We've done deeper excavations on Earth. The key is knowing how to read the rock formations and plan for unexpected problems. But the risks. Everything worthwhile involves risk, Commander. The question is whether the potential rewards justify taking that risk. As they spoke, Zara's sensors detected massive seismic activity on the planet's surface. A series of earthquakes struck the human base, sending tremors that would have leveled most structures, yet the human buildings swayed and flexed but remained standing. Your architecture? Zara gasped. It's designed for seismic events. Of course. Martinez said, we've been building earthquake-resistant structures for thousands of years. It's just common sense when you're living on an active planet. Over the following days, Zara continued to observe the human operation. She watched them adapt to every challenge the hostile world presented. When volcanic vents opened near their base, they rerouted their operations. When the acid storms intensified, they developed new protective coatings for their equipment. Each solution was elegant in its simplicity. Rather than relying on complex technology, the humans used basic engineering principles and raw determination to overcome obstacles that would have stopped more advanced civilizations. I don't understand your species, Zara finally admitted to Martinez. You have inferior technology, limited resources, and no apparent advantages over the other races in the galaxy. Yet, you succeed where others fail. Martinez finished adjusting a piece of equipment and looked up at the alien commander. Maybe that's exactly why we succeed, Commander. When you don't have superior technology or unlimited resources, you learn to make do with what you have. You become creative, adaptive, resourceful. But surely there are limits to what you can accomplish. Maybe, Martinez said, but we haven't found them yet. That evening, Zara received an urgent communication from Hegemony Command. The human fleet had engaged a Zarian armada near the Proxima system. Despite being outnumbered 10-1, the humans had emerged victorious. How is this possible? Zara demanded when Martinez returned to her ship. The human captain looked tired, but not defeated. The Zarians rely on their energy shields and advanced weapon systems. When we disabled their power generators with electromagnetic pulse weapons, their ships became sitting targets. You deliberately targeted their technological advantages. That's what humans do, Commander. We look for weaknesses and exploit them. We don't try to match our enemies. Strength for strength. We find ways around their advantages. Zara realized she was beginning to understand something fundamental about humanity. They were not superior to other species in any traditional sense. They were smaller and weaker than the Vorthan, less technologically advanced than the hegemony, and far less numerous than the Zarion Empire. But they possessed something that none of the other species had: the ability to thrive in impossible conditions, to find solutions where none seemed to exist, and to never give up no matter how desperate the situation became. "Your species frightens me," Zara admitted. Martinez nodded. "We frighten ourselves sometimes, but fear can be useful if you don't let it paralyze you. It keeps you alert, helps you prepare for threats, and motivates you to become stronger." As Zara prepared to return to hegemony space, she took one final look at the human operation on Kepler 442b. The impossible base now covered several square kilometers and was extracting valuable resources that would have been unreachable.